My name is Ellen Browning Scipps. Does that name sound familiar to you? It should. Maybe you've heard of the Scripps newspaper chain I founded with my half-brother, or Scripps College of Claremont, California, which I also founded. I was the first woman ever to appear on the cover of Time magazine. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's back up. I was born in London on October 18th, 1836. Yes, happy 184th birthday to me. My father married twice, but both his first wife and my mother died young. He moved me and my 5 siblings to Rushville, Illinois. He married for a third time in November of that year and had 5 more children. Despite coming from such a large family, I was the only one of my siblings to attend college. I came to Knox to study science and mathematics. While attending school, I had the opportunity to witness the now famous Lincoln-Douglas debate right here at Old Main. It was the most important event of my time here. Even though my formal education ended when I left Knox, I spent my whole life learning. After the Civil War, I stopped teaching and moved to Detroit, where my brother James and I published the Detroit Evening News. This paper would be the beginning of a family legacy. In the 1870s and 1880s, we expanded and added papers all over the Midwest. By 1902, my brother E.W. had created the Newspaper Enterprise Association, which would become part of our large portfolio of journalistic endeavors. In 1881, E.W. and I took a break from business to travel to Europe. Despite our extended leave, I couldn't stop working, and I chronicled our travels in a column for the Detroit Evening News. By the time I got back, I was no longer really needed in the office, so I took the opportunity to travel and write about exotic locations like Cuba and Mexico. In 1887, I made my way to California, where I settled down and became involved in my many projects. I moved to La Jolla and built a cottage I named the South Moulton Villa, after the street on which I was born. La Jolla was famous for having a lot of unmarried women, residents of which I was one. I called it a woman's town. I was a founding member of the La Jolla Women's Club and involved in many causes. The most important of these causes, suffrage. I mentioned that I was able to attend the Lincoln-Douglas debate when I was at Knox. It was during the debate that I developed an intense admiration for Abraham Lincoln. Unfortunately, I was unable to vote for him in any election because women weren't allowed to vote. In fact, I missed 13 presidential elections before California finally gave women the right to vote in 1911. Because of this, I joined the National Women's Suffrage Association and wrote about suffrage in my family's various newspapers. When suffrage was on the ballot in California, I helped sway the vote through editorials in San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and other cities. E.W. later said that I was responsible for the success of suffrage. I believed that if women had the right to vote, we could bring an end to child labor, poverty, lynching, prisons, hospital crowding, and prostitution. My family was very fortunate and very successful. When my brother George died in 1900, he split his investment shares between me and E.W. This caused a split between us, which lasted for 11 years, but eventually I won, because I believed it was important to invest in science and education. So I donated the bulk of my own money to the different organizations I was involved in. Listen up, ladies, because I was single, I had no husband to spend my money on women, drink, and gambling, so I was able to donate almost $2 million over my lifetime. That's $40 million today. One of those donations to Knox helped both the science and journalism departments. They even created the Ellen Browning Scipps Society at the school, which honors the members of the community whose generosity has altered the course of the college. I died in California on August 3, 1932, just before my 96th birthday. I also attribute my long life to my good fortune of never having married. After my death, I was recognized by the New York Times as one of the pioneers in modern American journalism. Remember my name, Ellen Browning Scipps.